Hey, so nice Sunday, a relaxing Sunday. I have the house all to myself, so I figured I'll do a little grilling, get myself a nice steak. It's Sunday, so you gotta do football, and most importantly, talk watches with you guys. Nice. So when I was in Hawaii, I was at a local torno, just to check out some watches, of course, like, all us watch lovers do. And while I was there, I noticed that, Tudors were one of the more available choices. So I was interested in checking out some of the new releases from Tudor, including the FXD Black Bay Pro that was recently released. Unfortunately, they did not have any of those available. But yeah, they actually had a Tudor Ranger available at the window. And then the rep that I was working with, he was really kind enough to show me that piece. And I was excited because, I've talked about the watch, my first takes on it, after looking at the reviews from the other prominent reviewers here, in our community, as well as, from the release footage that we saw together. And yeah, I was really excited to take a look at the model myself. And let me tell you, I was really underwhelmed. Yeah, so I had a chance to try on the watch, and now keep this in mind, owning a watch for a long time, actually having good usage out of it, makes a whole difference, but when the first impression, just checking out the watch, at the spa, just trying it out. But still, I was very careful just because I had a lot of expectation for it. And in short, I did not really enjoy the watch. I ended up not purchasing it, even though this was the last piece that was available at this location. And of course, with that being said, I realized that, they in the price range, as well as the options that are available in the market, not just at the toner that I was visiting, but in general in the watch market, I realized that I could actually go in a different route with wider selections available. So yeah, without further ado, let me just give you my three takes on why I did not like the watch. I took some notes on my phone here. Have three thoughts that I wanted to share with you guys, and the first being is that the finishing was extremely unfinished, if I were to say, in terms of the brushing as well as the texture, especially on the edges of the bracelet and the body itself. I was kind of shocked about that. This was supposed to be the refined model, the upgraded version of the Ranger, and then I felt like this piece in whole was very incomplete, and that really kind of like made me not really want to try this on watch for much longer than I had. And then the reason number two on that is that the size does not feel proportionate. Like that 39 millimeters, that was supposed to be smaller in terms of like the dimensions, in terms of the dial itself. I don't know, it just didn't feel right, and it felt very top heavy for me, and that was not what I was expecting with this piece. On paper, the measurements do show that this is supposed to be ideal on the wrist, as well as the shape and the size itself, but it just somehow didn't work out for me. And then the last thing this brings us to is the whole dollar versus the options that are available. Like I had mentioned, having tried this piece on, I've actually spent a good time, while I was at the location, trying it on, giving it my thoughts, trying to see like how the watch really works out. And I realized, like, again, at this price range, while this might seem like an ideal, a really good bargain, a good deal, for me, I realized that I have options available. So what did I think of the watch in general? Two factors. For the price, again, this is a really great deal. I do understand what a lot of people who own the watch, who are looking to own this watch, say about this, and I do agree. But I think for me, and then for a lot of people also on the flip side, it's not for everyone. In terms of the finishing, like I said, it feels very roughed out, not complete, in terms of like what it could have been. And then secondly, again, there's just options available. Now, I wanted a tool watch. I love tool watches, and I'm always interested in, getting more tool watches for myself. But even with this being a tool watch, this really felt like, a brusque like model that was just like thrown out there. And I don't know, maybe that's what really kind of like, upset me a little bit. I had so much expectation for the model, and then, I was very interested in, picking one up. And now, don't get me wrong, I'm not completely phasing out the possibility that, I could pick up this watch. But from, my interactions, having seen the watch there, having it on my wrist and giving it some time, it just didn't sit very well with me. Who knows, down the line, if I go and take a look at the model again, I might feel differently about it. But I do base my first assumptions, very highly. And it's really, kind of unfortunate for me to say this, but, the watch was not to my liking. I had promised that, you know, I will eventually go to the store and definitely take a look at the watch. I'm glad I did that. I had the opportunity to do that. And yeah, that's my whole 2 cents about the watch. I'm glad I had the opportunity to really, you know, try it on and see how I feel about it. Glad I'm able to share this with you guys as always. Please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you guys like the content. It means a lot to me and really helps me, you know, grow the channel even more. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care.